And Dr. Palmer joins us again, and we are talking this morning about President Obama's daughter, Malia. She's going to Harvard University for undergrad, but not until next year. So she announced she's going to take a gap year before enrolling in the Ivy League school in 2017. So much hate being thrown her way. Some commenters on the Fox News site smeared Malia for her decision to take a year off in between high school and college. The negative comments, which have been removed from the site, call her everything from immature to using racial slurs. So she's following a long line of presidential children admitted into prestigious universities. So what is the deal with all the hate? We've got to remember, she is still a child. What do you think?
I think that you have to take, it's a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
You know, and I think she's kind of setting a trend right now where people are going, hey, it's okay to take a gap year. And I think that for some kids, it is okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, she is the president's daughter. Right. She needs a break.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
She's been working too.
Yeah. And so I completely get that, you know, and you know, she got into Harvard, so that's very stressful going to an Ivy League school. So I think that in her case, I think it will be a very good thing. Mm-hmm. I think that for some kids, though, maybe it's not such a good thing.
Really?
Because they start to lose track. You know, they start to get off the wagon a little bit, get distracted.
But this isn't even new. I mean, hundreds of other kids that are going to Harvard are doing the exact same gap year thing. So she's not even like the only one doing this at the school.
Yeah, and I just graduated from getting my master's in business, and I took 7 years off from school, and it was hard.
Not recommending that, kids.
Not recommending that. It was hard to go back after my bachelor's. I got in 2007. I just went back 2 years ago, and it was really hard to get back in that, you know, studying and going through the process thing. But the slurs and everything, is it just because it was a racial thing with her, or what do you think?
Maybe because it's the president's daughter, you know, that draws more attention.
So his haters are going after her now.
Maybe. But you know, the thing is, I think it's taking kids longer to graduate college anyway now because they're switching majors so much and they're so confused. I know I took a little bit longer with my bachelor's degree because I went to Miss USA, I started switching majors and everything. So then I got back on track. So I think it took me 5 years instead of 4.
Yeah.
So that was my little gap.
Yeah. You know? I just need to squeeze another football season in there.
Yeah. Well, so your dog ate your homework. Have your parents write a note to explain. Don't feel like staying after school? Write your own note and take the bus. School district officials in Texas are investigating after Rosabella Dahu, who is 7 years old, gave school staffers a note she forged. And here's her note. I want Rosabella to go to bus 131 today to Mrs. Rye. Her neighbor called her dad after seeing the little girl standing outside her locked home. School district officials say they are reviewing training procedures with their after-school staff and will take disciplinary action. I mean, the thing had spelling errors all over it.
We were cracking up at it yesterday, which is unfortunate.
Well, you know, it kind of goes both ways because we were talking about, you know, this really a parent might be illiterate and they could have written the note. Obviously, she did it herself. So
I think it's becoming a little easier to fool people, which is kind of surprising because we're supposed to be becoming smarter as a culture. I wish I did this when I was a kid.
I know.
I tried to forge my mom's signature, and it was just a bunch of scratch, and I could never get the lines right.
I got mine down pat.
Smart kid. But
yes, very
hopefully
smart.
she doesn't continue to do this kind of thing because that could get her in trouble in the future, you know, legal stuff.
Yeah. It's so scary, too, because, you know, they are investigating how this after-school provider looked at that note and said, okay, you're going on the bus.
Why not? Yeah.
Right, and she's 7.
You know, the thing is, I'm sorry, people are so busy nowadays, you know, and it's just, you know, there's so much, like there's, the schools are flooded and, you know, it's just like one of those things where they're not checking. They're not checking enough. And it's,
because they're too distracted to pay attention. Got it.
Okay.
Well, this next story is a stretch. Literally. Sydney V. Smith, known as the Giraffe Woman, is done with sticking her neck out and wants to have the neck she used to have. So she's been wearing these 15 copper rings around her neck after being inspired by a Thai tribe. She's had them for 5 years and says her neck stretched 9 to 10 inches. She had 5 minutes of fame, some of it being posing for Penthouse magazine earlier this year, but now she's done. She's tired of talking about the rings, says it's ruined relationships for her, so she's cut them off. They're gone. They're no longer there. And she was bruised all underneath. They've been weighing on her for so long.
Yeah.
What do we think?
Yeah. Well, okay. Here's what I think about it.
Everybody's like,
you really want to know
what I speak on this one.
I think that there's a trend, okay, with people looking more like animals. Okay, you have people, seriously, you have people who are looking more like the duck face is popular now.
It is
the selfies, the duck face.
Yeah.
And what was that woman that got all that plastic surgery?
The cat lady.
The cat lady.
Yes.
So now we have the giraffe woman. So I think that
I'm
is
kind of flabbergasted by your comment. Like, I want to look like
Who else wants to look like that?
I think we can blame it on the plastic surgeons. And what they're doing to people with all the Botox and the fillers
and they do start to look like cats after a while.
They do.
Or like Barbie dolls. Yeah, that's a
Absolutely.
trend now with people, that Ken guy.
Absolutely. And I think that also there's also a trend with people, like with the Kardashians.
Yes.
Just
if you follow them.
Realistic ideals.
Almost got through the show without saying that name.
I'm getting butt implants.
All right, coming
just
up after
because
the
of it.
break, Google's newest self-driving vehicle is getting a family makeover. Really cuckoo. We'll show you the tech giant's latest model. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.